Everybody else's opinion of you does not matter. You are who you are. Be weird, be silly, be crazy, be loud. Don't apologize for who you are. If you're not hurting somebody else and you're not hurting yourself, be you.
I just had the most entertaining interview with Christy Morse. Christy told me about her love for collecting Hot Wheels and how it was really sparked from her youth. The only thing that surpasses her love of Hot Wheels are her two sons, Thomas and Cooper. I think you're going to really enjoy hearing from Christy Morse. Today, I have the privilege of sitting with Christy Morse. Christy, I'm so excited for our conversation today.
I'm really excited too. I'm glad I got to take a chance in this opportunity.
Yeah, me too. So tell us, Christy, a little bit about what you do here at C&G.
I started out as a shipping clerk. It'll be 3 years ago, July 20th of this year. And I've moved up to shipping coordinator. And, I love the challenge of my job and the people that I work with. It's definitely the people that you interact with every day that can take like the seriousness of any situation and just break it down and make you laugh and make you smile, and change that around. So that part I absolutely love.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to sit with you a few minutes ago and see you interacting with some of your peers. I can tell you're the go-to person for them. You really have an impact in the lives of the employees that you work with. Tell me about that.
I'm definitely the mom in every situation in my life. I really am. I just, it's really hard to find those genuine, honest people. And then when you do find them, you just want to hold on tight to them, and some of the people, that you're going to be interacting with today, they're just amazing people to interact with and to deal with on a daily basis, and it just makes you want to be there to support them, and we kind of all turn into family after a while.
Yeah, I really pick that up, that people look to you that way and, stories about you bringing in cakes and, recognizing people for, special things in their lives.
Yeah,
So where did that big heart come from?
that is definitely my mom. That is absolutely my mom. She is one of the most giving and caring people that I know. On top of that, she's a nurse, so she puts her life into giving and taking care of people. And I've always told myself that if I could just be a little bit of what she is, then I know I'm doing okay.
Oh, that's so touching. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure your mom loves hearing that.
Yeah.
So tell me about your childhood, your upbringing with a mom like that and,
Well, both
about your
my parents are still married. They got married in 1978,
Mhm.
so they just celebrated the big one. And it started out with me. I was born in 1980, and then my brother was born in 82. After that, my dad's brother needed a place to stay, so my parents brought him in, and then my mom's two sisters needed a place to stay too, so my parents took them in. So I went from being the oldest child to the middle child.
Wow.
There was 5 of us all together, and they were in their 20s, and I'm 43 now, and I'm still looking for the adult in charge. I can only imagine
Yeah.
being in their 20s and taking on 5 children. Like, to me, that just blows my mind and just shows the kind of drive and ambition that my parents have to make sure that the 5 of us had a stable home to grow up in.
Mm. So how has that shaped you in your life? Like, what are some of those lessons that you learned from childhood that you've carried with you?
One of the things, like, as soon as I turned 16, my parents were like, "You need to get a job so
Mhm.
that way I can support myself." If I wanted a car, I had to do that, and I had to pay for the gas and the insurance, and then they're like, "Okay, now you need to learn the responsibility of bills." So then, they gave me the choice. You could pay this bill or this bill, and I always chose the phone bill because I would make long distance calls. Not that we know about that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Boy, those bills used to be big, weren't
Yes.
they? Back
Yes.
before cell phones.
Yes.
I had a
So
few of those that blew my mind.
yeah, I know, and I'd be like, "Oops, my bad." They're like,
Yeah.
"Well, you're paying for it." So I mean, they definitely had to instill responsibility and, in us earlier because they had to make sure that all 5 of us understood that.
Tell me about your life today.
my life today,
Your life
is
today.
definitely
Yeah.
wrapped around my 2 sons.
Okay.
I've got Thomas and Cooper. Cooper just turned 10, and Thomas is gonna be turning 12, and that is my whole world. And my whole mission, I feel anybody that's a parent, their mission should be to make them a better version of what you are. And I strive for that every single day with them. They are the funniest, most caring, and most loving 2 people I've ever met. And I am so blessed to be a part of that. And nothing turns me into a bigger baby than talking about those 2.
Oh,
They really do. And it's so funny because then you get to see the bits and pieces of you in something that you helped create, and I'm a smart aleck, like, I am very quick-whipped, and my oldest has caught on to that, and he says things to me where I'm like, "That was a good one, but you're not allowed to say that to me."
so it sounds like you're a similar kind of parenting style that you were parented with.
Yes.
Like the how you talked about your mom and the impact that she had on you, you're modeling that with your children, not only with your children, but with your coworkers,
Yeah.
spreading that love. And it's so admirable to me because some kids at 16 in your situation that they had to pay the bill would be resentful of that.
Yeah.
But instead, you've developed this amazing work ethic, this sense of responsibility and caring,
Yeah.
which is so great.
Yeah, they, taught me how to handle money. I mean, they even taught me how to balance a checkbook to this day. I mean, people nowadays don't do that. I still do that
Yeah.
every week. But yeah, they definitely put the skills and definitely created, the person who I am today. My dad's a very caring person too, but he's also the first one that's going to roar, if you mess with the family. So I've got my mom's heart, but I've got
Mhm.
my dad's roar too.
Yeah.
So that's definitely
It's a
there as well.
that's a great combo. So if you could go back to your 18-year-old self and give you advice, what would it be?
Everybody else's opinion of you does not matter. You are who you are. Be weird, be silly, be
Mhm.
crazy, be loud. Don't apologize for who you are. If you're not hurting somebody else and you're not hurting yourself, be you.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those people where people talked negatively about and, um, I was definitely put down a lot, just for my appearance or the way that I acted or not being afraid of who, I was. And don't let that affect you because we are the way that we are for a reason. And obviously, I mean, even you're telling me I have an impact on people. I mean, it must
Mhm.
be positive. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's so good. I mean, and I think that's an important message, especially, for those in their teens, so much today, social media and peer pressure on looks and those kinds of things. And you do get perspective when you get older that
yeah,
those things really don't
they
matter.
don't.
But when you're 18, oof,
Yeah,
they matter,
they
right?
do.
They feel like they do.
I've started telling my kids from the beginning, I'm like, you guys are so weird. I'm like, embrace that, love that. Because if
Yeah.
I'm telling them that they're weird now and they know that it's coming from a loving place, there's nothing that anybody else can say to them to make them feel bad about themselves,
No,
you know?
absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So what are some of the hobbies that you're into? What do you like to do?
Oh,
Like,
goodness. I love collecting Hot Wheels. I really do.
really?
I love them.
I didn't see that coming.
And not most people do it. It's funny because my dad is well known as the Barbie man. He collects the Barbies. I collect the Hot Wheels.
Wait, stop. Your
Yes.
dad collects Barbies?
He can tell you what year a Barbie was just by smelling the butt of the Barbie. I'm not kidding.
That
I
is a
wish I
talent.
could have him here just to tell you that because I honestly don't know what that smells like,
Oh my
but I take
gosh.
his word for it.
It must be the particular type of plastic
That's the only thing
used in
I don't
the
know. You know
Barbie?
more about plastic than I
I
do.
yeah. Oh my gosh. That's okay. All right, dad.
So, Kathy, I've
Uh-huh.
I've got something for you today.
Okay.
You're a very hard woman to research. You
Ah,
are. So
really?
I had to dig in with Mariah, and
Okay.
she sent me to Richie Wolf.
Okay.
And he told me that your husband races cars.
Oh,
So I
he
brought you
does.
some Hot Wheels today.
Oh my gosh. Let me see what is in this
So
bag.
the first one is what I would picture your husband's race car to look like in
Uh-huh.
2023.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. That looks very much like his race car. Oh, that is so cool.
I wish I could find the number on it.
I am looking at a Rockin' Railer Hot Wheels, new for 2022. This is a special feature. This is so cool. He's gonna love that.
And then I collect the cool Quambi and
Uh-huh.
moon eyes. I love anything that's got the moon eyes on it. So I was actually able to find you one that has both. That is my
This
absolute favorite.
Okay, so now I'm looking at a Volkswagen bus with w what are those? The
Moon eyes.
moon eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is like this tell me about the moon eyes.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the eyes or the moon, but I love it. The thing about the Hot Wheels is it's the hunt. Like if you like something like that one, to try to find that in the stores or at the
Uh-huh.
flea markets or stuff like that, it's all about the hunt. So when you find it, it's like really exciting. And the added bonus on top of that is like I am a mom of boys, and especially my youngest. My oldest has grown out of it, but my youngest loves Hot Wheels. So this is something that we can share together, and my parents always did that hunt, like we would go to flea markets and
For
antique
Barbies.
malls, Barbies, whatever it is that they were collecting at
Yeah.
the time. I'd probably say my dad really got into Barbies probably like 15 years ago, give or take. But like there was always something that they were searching for, and it's just like the fun of the hunt. Like it can be a
Yeah.
very cheap. I mean, this is a $1.25 car,
Yeah.
like
But
I can
someday this could be very rare.
very well could be, but if not, I have a whole dresser full of them.
So
I've got one more.
oh, oh,
Okay, so my dad is all about classic Batmobiles,
yeah.
and this has got it in there. So this is another one. As soon as I find that, the cool Quambi and the classic Batmobile, I have to have them. I don't
Oh
care how many of
my
them I have,
gosh.
I have to have them.
This is amazing.
Who
This
buys the CEO of their company, Hot Wheels? I do.
I love it, I love it. These are definite I'm not giving these to my husband, though. I'm gonna keep these for myself. This is awesome. You know, my daughter lives in LA, actually in, like, the Hollywood Hills area,
Yeah,
and where they filmed Batman and where the Batcave was
yeah,
is, like, less than a mile from where she lives.
yeah.
So we got to go hiking one time and kinda see where they filmed that, super cool. Okay, I just spilled my water, but I'm just gonna ignore that.
It didn't happen.
It didn't
I don't know what you're
if
talking
if
about.
we didn't see it, it didn't happen, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So tell me more about this, the thrill of the hunt and, is it ever about like, something that you wanna collect because it's gonna be worth more money over time, or is it really just, "I wanna have this in my collection and I wanna keep it forever?"
It's mostly about what it is that I like and I wanna keep. The hunt it's just like the thrill of the hunt of, like, going out there and searching for something and going from store to store or whatever it is and just finding that one thing that you're interested in. I love cars. There is nothing sexier than listening to an old car start up. The
Wow.
smell of the gas of an older car, like, that comes from you would think it would come from my dad, don't get me wrong, my dad
Well,
loves
there's
cars,
a
but
big difference
then
between sniffing cars and sniffing Barbies.
She got you, dad. So the
Ah.
sniffing cars is from my mom, and the Barbies is from my dad.
Ah, yes, and it's interesting you described your dad as the one you got the roar from.
It
He's
is.
got he's got his soft side
He
too.
does have a soft side, he
Yeah.
really does, but, like, I remember when I was younger and somebody was messing with my best friend, and I was like, "Dad, we need to have a talk." I said, "I'm gonna get in trouble at school. I'm gonna have to confront these 2 people," and he was like, "Don't do it at school. Tell them to meet you on the block away from school. Tell them you'll meet them there at 3:30." Yes, I'm talking about the big tree, "and see if they show up." And they didn't show up,
Oh, I
so
bet they never bothered you
N
again.
no, no. My confidence is pretty high.
Yeah, that is an awesome story. I
Yeah.
love that. So what does a perfect day for you look like?
Anything with my kids.
Okay.
They are everything to me. I don't even care if we're just lounging around or like yesterday, we spent all day at the pool, just watching them swim. They are my happiness. They are the greatest thing that I will ever give to this world. There's just nothing better than them. You know, I was told that I would not be able to have kids on my own, beforehand because of, some issues with myself, and it was within 2 months after I got married, I ended up pregnant with my first son, so, like, I will forever be grateful for that, and there's just no job better than being a mom. It's the scariest and yet most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life, and I wouldn't trade them for anything.
Yeah, they say when you find that thing, that thing you were born to do, that thing that brings out, your full personality,
Yeah,
to lean into that. And it sounds like you're doing that, not only at home with your kids, but here at C&G, being,
yeah,
as you said, the mom to your coworkers, and
yeah.
that's got to bring you a lot of joy.
It does, it really does. Nothing just the little bits that you get to see of yourself in them and just seeing them thrive and be happy and just being kids, protecting everything just to let them be kids. Like it's it's the most amazing job. It really is.
So, Christy, at this point in our interview, I get the opportunity to turn the table,
Yeah.
give you a chance to ask me any question that you want to ask me.
I don't know, this is a lot of pressure.
No pressure at all. No pressure.
Um, I mean, you did fill us in a little
I
bit
did.
about, what makes you push and what brings you happy in your life. What is your favorite thing to do?
Ah, that's a good question. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
I think for me, really feeling in the moment, like just experiencing, feeling the full experience of something, whether it's sitting with my coffee watching the sunrise, or watching my grandson play baseball, or um, watching my husband race cars like I did this past weekend. When you really feel connected to what you're doing, and you bring your full attention to it and
Yeah.
just feel in the moment and nothing else matters in that moment,
Yeah.
that's when I feel the most happy.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm usually known as the photographer in my family, so I'm always taking the pictures and I'm never in the moment. So I'm trying to make
Yes.
myself
Yes.
more into the moment because I always want to make sure that they have those memories. But it's like,
Yes.
okay, you've taken enough pictures. You just took 100 pictures, Christy. Put the phone down.
Yeah, no, I'll see people, like, who are really into the social media, like, in this beautiful spot, beautiful, like, sunset, and they're so focused on, "Okay, the sunlight, and get me here, and snap me this way, and I'll hold the camera higher, and do it the," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you people are missing this
Yeah.
spectacular sunset for one perfect photo that's not a representation of your life,"
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so no, we have to lean into the moments we get and live them with our full heart, and boy, you're doing that, Christy.
I try.
Well, thank you again for this. This is just an amazing conversation with you. Christy Morse, you inspire me.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to have me on here. This was really nice. And it was a good chat to get to talk with you and get to know you a little bit more too. Cause, you've got so many things to do. And so we don't get to interact so often. So it's nice to sit down with you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.